Hi guys, so today I thought I would do a top 10 questions about vet school. I get asked quite a bit where I go, how did I get in, what do I think about it. So I just thought rather than replying separately, I would put it all right here and hopefully it'll be a little bit of extra information for you all. So the first question is, what vet school are you at and what do you think about it? So I am at the RVC, which is the London Veterinary College, which is based on two campuses. So you spend the first 2 years at Camden, which is slap bang right in the city centre of London. So you have a fantastic campus, one of the oldest buildings there, and it's all been newly renovated. So there's no construction now and loud banging, but fantastic nightlife, fantastic culture, so easy to get around and see the city. So it was really nice to be able to experience London and be right in the very middle. And then from third year you move up to Hawkshead, which is in Potter's Bar, so slightly more rural, a lot more space, a lot more greenery, and it's my preference, but it isn't for everyone. And yeah, it's been great. It's all being renovated just now and hopefully going smoothly since no one's there, so they can get lots done. What year am I in? So I am currently in third year. I did the acceleration course, so if anyone's got any questions about that, please feel free to ask away. I did 1 year in Camden where they squish year 1 and 2 together, which was very intense, but we made it through. And then straight up to join the third years at Hawkshead. Where else did you apply to? So I applied to RVC, to the 4-year course, which is the graduate course. I applied to the 5-year course at RVC. I also applied to Glasgow and Surrey. I have to say, when I went to visit Surrey, it was very pretty, all brand new, state of the art. And Glasgow, for me, it's where I'm from. I did my undergraduate degree there, so for me, I didn't want to necessarily go back there, because I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt, but it is a beautiful campus and it's in the West End and it's got lovely scenery, and I know a lot of people that go there that really love it. What's the best thing so far? So for me, the best thing truly has to be the practicals that we get. Unfortunately, we're not able to do that just now because we're working online, but the RVC have a dedicated Learn building, so it's called Live, and all the skills are set up in there constantly. When you're not in class, you can go in and practice, and there's always people around to help. And when I went to the interview, the centre was opened, and it was really exciting and something that really made me want to apply there, just having that on hand all the time. What's not so good? So there's so much information that you just never ever feel that you know, and to be honest, I don't think that you can possibly know everything all the time, and I think that's all right, but it's just hard to remember that that's okay. Especially doing the graduate year, they cram so much in and you just constantly feel like you're behind, but we do all get through it. It is hard work, but I would say that was the only thing that isn't quite so good, but you can't have everything, can you? What's something that surprised me about vet school? So I think what really surprised me was every lecturer or every vet that I've spoken to within the university or wellbeing on placement, they're always so happy to give you information, to teach you, to explain something to you. And I think when you're in university and trying to learn to be a vet, because there's so much information, it can be overwhelming. But I've just found it really nice, and it's made the experience so much more enjoyable because whoever you walk up to is always willing and happy to explain something or go through something. And I think it's a really nice thing that the veterinary community have, because of the different animals and the different subject areas that people go into. People are very aware that they have a lot more in-depth knowledge in some things and not so much in others. What work experience did I do before I applied? So I did a little bit of everything, and because I did the graduate course I actually did quite a lot because I spent the year working in an animal rescue centre before I went. But I would say try and pick something that you're interested in, that you can learn a little bit more about, so you've got something to talk about at interviews. And then there's a lot of things that they like you to have done, like lambing and dairy. And I would say even if they're not your favourite, it's a really good idea to go and get the experience because you will have to do it over first and second year. We have to do something called AHEMS, which are animal husbandry placements. And if you've already been there and learnt the basics, it means that you're going to get so much more out of it when you actually have to go for 2 weeks. You've learnt stuff at university and you can now apply it, as opposed to spending time learning the bare minimum. When did I know I wanted to be a vet? So for me, this actually took a very, very, very long time. And I think that's all right. And I think it's very important to remember that just now, with everything that's going on with COVID, things might not work out the way that you thought. And I think that's all right. I think sometimes it is really good to go away and get experience to know that it is what you want to do. So I didn't really know that I wanted to be a vet till about 3 years ago, maybe a bit longer. I think quite a lot of it had to do with not thinking that I was smart enough and not being able to get the grades, so I sort of just wrote it off to begin with, and thinking that just liking animals wasn't enough. And I think there is a lot more to it, but I think it's okay whenever you work it out, and you just have to start on that path when you decide that it's what you want to do and just go for it. What sort of vet do I want to be? So I'm not 100% decided, but I think I want to be an equine vet. I've always had a horse from a very young age. It's what first got me interested in being a vet, having the vet out to my own horse and seeing sort of what was involved. But the great thing about being a vet is just because you go down one route doesn't mean you need to stick to it. You could change every year if you wanted. You could do a few years as an equine vet, a few years as a small animal, pop across to Africa and do some work there. So I am completely open to seeing what jobs are out there and where I could possibly end up. Maybe South Africa, maybe Dubai, or I might just come back here to Scotland, because I mean, if I could get weather like this all the time, why wouldn't I? But I don't really know, but I think equine vet for now. What's one thing you would tell yourself if you were applying now? So I would just tell myself that you can't do everything and you can't know everything, and that's okay. I think it's something that I actually tell myself now, and all of us, well, I know all of my friends, that we need to tell ourselves that quite a lot. You know, we all want to be vets and we've had to work so hard to get there, but it's actually all right to have other hobbies and interests and not want to do it all the time and it consume you. And I think sometimes that it's really easy to get caught up in it, especially when you apply to uni. You apply with what sports you're interested in, what you do at the weekends, you know, what achievements you've had, and then we kind of get to vet school and think, right, I need to be a vet now and I can't have anything else out with that bubble. So I think that I would tell myself to, you know, keep up with all the things that I already do and love and enjoy, and, you know, go for the weekend away with your friends, go for that night out, you know, take the time to do what's right for you and just really make sure you enjoy everything. You know, like we spent first year in the city centre in London, and you know, I maybe only made it to the theatre once or twice, and maybe that's all right, but for me, now that I've moved out of the centre of London, I really wish that I had done more of it. I obviously still can do it, but I think it's really easy to forget what we want to do and just focus on everything vet. So just go and enjoy yourself. If anyone has any other questions or anything that they want to know about, please leave a comment below and I will be more than happy to answer it for you. Okay, bye.